I don't think it's a good idea for Teddi Mellencamp to return to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is not only known for being an iconic part of the Housewives franchise, but also for having a revolving door of cast members. Throughout the years, we have seen many different housewives come and go in Beverly Hills. Some have stuck, while others were a one-season wonder, and still others have been spotted as a friend of with appearances here and there. Despite the women that come and go, whether we love them or not, there is one housewife from the past that I do not believe should ever reprise her role, Teddi Mellencamp. With rumors swirling that Teddi may be returning to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I am itching to find out whether there is any truth to it. Truthfully, I do not think it would be a good idea for Teddi to return due to the aggressive cancer she is fighting and the toxic environment that possesses Beverly Hills. During a recent episode of Teddi's podcast, Two Teas in a Pod, she was asked by her guest, Dolores Catania, if she plans on returning to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Teddi blushingly responded, "I plead the fifth," and then followed that statement up by explaining that she had no idea if we would be seeing her on our screens again. I do not think Teddi's return would be a great idea at all. Teddi is currently battling stage 4 metastasized melanoma. In my opinion, the very last thing she needs right now is to return to the show filled with a group of pretentious women who live for drama. Sure, she would have her bestie, Kyle Richards, by her side if she were to return as a full-time housewife, but what good would that really do when the majority of the fandom wants Kyle out? I think we are all aware that the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is going downhill due to the tiresome drama, the broken friendships, broken relationships, fan favorite Garcelle Beauvais not returning, and Kyle Richards' chokehold on the show. I do not believe the show is necessarily fun anymore like it used to be. The women have created such a toxic environment, which is unfortunate because the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills used to be one of my favorites within the franchise. Now there is a dark cloud looming over Beverly Hills, and I do not believe that is what Teddi Mellencamp needs right now. Filming for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is the opposite of what Teddi should be focusing on. There have been so many heartbreaking stories involving Teddi and her journey through her cancer, and I have commended her every single time because she has proven each time what a strong woman she is with the most positive mindset. However, I am afraid that would change if she were to join the cast again. Teddi has stated since she was first diagnosed that the most important thing for her and her family during this time is to keep a positive outlook on life. Returning to Beverly Hills would for sure have the opposite effect on her both mentally and physically. While I watch the show, I am constantly thinking about how I would handle all the drama if I were in any of their shoes. It would definitely put a strain on my mental health and well-being, especially being in the public eye and the inevitable headlines and gossip on social media. Teddi, who has stage 4 cancer and is in a constant battle every day, should not have to deal with the pettiness that is the show. I think she absolutely has bigger fish to fry than worrying about who is going through a divorce or who is battling their ex-husband's legal issues. We are all rooting for Teddi Mellencamp to win her battle with cancer. I want to see her succeed in everything that she does in life and enjoy many more years with her family, remaining in the positive mindset that she so strongly does. However, I do not believe hopping back on reality television is the way to go. I think Teddi should remain focused on her treatment and mental health, and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills introduced to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, there was cautious optimism. She was the daughter of rock legend John Mellencamp, a self-described accountability coach, and brought a down-to-earth, no-nonsense energy that stood in stark contrast to the opulence and drama that defines the franchise. But now, years after her departure, there are whispers, and some shouts, about her potential return. And frankly, I don't think that's a good idea. Not for the show, not for the cast, and maybe not even for Teddi herself. Let's start with the obvious. Teddi never really found her footing in the franchise. She wasn't the lightning rod of controversy like Lisa Rinna. She wasn't the glamazon with mysterious secrets like Erika Jayne. She wasn't even the comedic relief like Sutton or the lovable oddball like Kathy Hilton. Teddi was fine. At best, She tried to play peacemaker and truth-teller, but too often came off as sanctimonious and rigid, like a personal trainer who just will not let you skip leg day, even when you're crying in full glam. Her attempts at holding the group accountable, her calling card, if you will, became grating rather than grounding. She'd show up at lunches with a furrowed brow and a printout of receipts, ready to drag the fun out of every moment. And in Beverly Hills, where shade is served with caviar and gossip flows faster than champagne, you can't be the hall monitor. It kills the vibe. Let's also remember her controversial role in one of the franchise's most explosive storylines, Puppygate. Her involvement in the infamous situation involving Dorrit, a dog, and a certain animal shelter, followed by her repeated denials and eventual backtracking, tarnished her accountability brand and made her seem more calculating than principled. When the dust settled, viewers weren't applauding her transparency. They were exhausted by her hypocrisy. Teddi's dynamic with the rest of the cast also left much to be desired. Her closest alliance was with Kyle Richards, and while their friendship seemed genuine, it was also a little too safe. When housewives get too close, they stop holding each other accountable, ironically, in Teddi's case, and the result is stagnation. Kyle and Teddi were often accused of being a clique, laughing at inside jokes, backing each other blindly, and icing out other women like a high school Mean Girls reboot. Fans noticed, and they weren't impressed. The truth is, RHOBH has evolved since Teddi's exit. The energy is different. There's a new appetite for chaotic glamour, brought on by Garcelle's poise, Sutton's awkward fabulousness, Crystal's quiet steel, and Kathy Hilton's sheer unpredictability. Even Erica, post-scandal, is more watchable than ever. Adding Teddi back into this cocktail feels like tossing in a protein shake to a martini party. It doesn't mix. And let's talk about Teddi's own vibe these days. She's pivoted hard into podcasting, hosting 2 Teas in a Pod with Tamra Judge, where she rehashes Housewives drama with a snarky edge. She's good at it, no doubt, but podcasting Teddi is far spicier than TV Teddi ever was. Ironically, she's more entertaining behind a microphone than she ever was on camera. Returning to RHOBH might actually dull her edge. On her podcast, she can throw shade freely. On Bravo, she'd have to worry about cast alliances, edits, and the looming Bravo fandom ready to turn on a dime. From a production standpoint, bringing her back feels like a step backward. Viewers are hungry for fresh energy and new perspectives. We've had enough of the same 6 women shuffling allegiances and rehashing old feuds. Teddi's return would be a nostalgia play, but it's the kind of nostalgia no one's really asking for. Bravo has access to a massive Rolodex of glamorous, dramatic, eccentric women in Los Angeles. Why dip back into the lukewarm Mellencamp pool? There's also the issue of the audience. Teddi has always been a polarizing figure, but not in the way that drives ratings. Her haters don't tune in to hate watch. They just tune out. She doesn't inspire memes, and her confessionals rarely go viral. She lacks the sparkle, the sass, and the scandal that makes a great housewife. Her brand is clean eating and clean living, but the show thrives on mess. Bravo can't afford to make RHOB beige again. And then there's the question of whether this would even be good for Teddi. She's carved out a successful post-Housewives path. Her podcast is growing. She's been open about her health struggles and family life. She seems, dare I say, happy. Returning to a show that devours its stars for breakfast could undo all that progress. Does she really want to dive back into a world of Instagram wars, passive-aggressive brunches, and who said what showdowns?